am hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 every.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. We got a quick one today. I knew Wednesday was going to be a weird day, so thank you guys for your flexibility. So this is going to be a quick live stream. We're going to go over the news, the analysis, and we're going to get into your guys' coins quickly. This one's going to be kind of a rapid fire at you. Oh, my mama, what's good, Ski? What's up? Hi, guys. Site admin should be another minute or so. He's just getting ready. Someone said something interesting in the pre. It says, yo, ski, new influencers are appearing like mushrooms now. You already know, bro. You already know what that means. You already know what that means. Listen, I'm not against anyone creating. In fact, I encourage it. We're all creators, right? We're all creators. Whether you're a mother or a content creator, whether you're a mechanic, a farmer, a truck driver, we're all creators divinely. But if they weren't with you shooting in the gym, bro, if they weren't with you at 74K making content, be wary of those individuals. Or at least the advice that they give. If they weren't with you when we had the spring the last time in August, Bitcoin went back to 49K, be wary of these individuals, at least what they say. If they weren't with you when the war in Israel kicked off and Bitcoin pulls back to 25K, be wary. If they weren't with you when FTX went to zero, Bitcoin was at 16K, be wary. Okay? That doesn't mean that nothing that they say will ever not be true. That doesn't mean everything that I say will be true. But just know who was here. Just know what individuals.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Okay, let's get into it. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin sitting at $94,674. We're a little bit overheated in the very micro. I got to be honest. Gonna keep it a buck. So it is the new moon. We're in that new moon energy. We typically top out, and then we typically have a nice little correction after that. Okay. So listen, I'm not gonna read you your zodiac or anything like that. That's not what I do. But I just look at the data. I look at the logic, the reason, and the data, logic, reason tells us that typically the full moons are the local bottoms, and typically the new moons are the local tops. The blue ones, pull back right after, pull back, pull back, pull back right after, pull back, pull back. Now I don't think we're pull back. You know what I'm saying? Pull back, pull back, pull. Yeah. Okay, now I don't think we're going to make a new low or anything like that. 74.4, I said the bottom was in, boys, and that's what I meant. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. Okay, but we're a little bit hot on the RSI right now. We're about to get across to the downside. I would anticipate 88K. I got limit orders in for 88K, and I got limit orders in for 85K. That's what I anticipate the back test for Bitcoin to be. Now, I do think we are very much nearing. We talked about this a lot yesterday. I do think Bitcoin dominance is clearly working on the UTAD. Where it stops, we're going to find out. But it's red hot, right? Super hot. And I think there's a good plausibility if and when Bitcoin pulls back. Of course, the altcoins are going to pull back too. But I think that we're shifting into the season where the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin upside and downside. That is definitely what I anticipate in this next season. We talked about this a lot yesterday, and we'll talk about it again today. Scott, thank you for the heart, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
What's cooking, brother? Would you check Filecoin? Thanks in advance. Filecoin is in accumulation, but Filecoin has a lot of inflation, right? So price equals supply plus demand. You got to pay attention to the market cap of these coins, not the price. The market cap, regardless of what the XRP army tells you, is the true price. Okay? The true price. Listen, we go live every single day, 6 days a week. Make sure you guys drop a follow, hit the share. I'm pumping out content, 10 to 20 minute videos every day. We're pumping out 5 shorts per day, and we're going live every day. Normally the lives are about an hour and a half. Today it's going to be a quick one. But I wanted to show up and show out for y'all. What's up? I see all the social media, everyone very bullish. Yeah, I think we're going to get a pullback, right? Now, high or low is what I think for Bitcoin, right? High or low. That's what I think. So everyone's coming out the woodworks, and, you know, in the very micro, we are hot. Micro, medium, long. I am very, very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and especially the altcoins right now. In the micro, I anticipate a little bit of a pullback. Where are we at on the fear and greed today? Does anyone know? How was camping? Camping was great. I got my orchard planted. I got the driveway put in. So we paved it. We graded it. We put some gravel down. We're neutral. Wow. So that was great news. So listen, being at 52 when we were just at 15, that doesn't seem like it's hot, but that's red hot. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem like it's hot. That is red hot, ladies and gentlemen. So neutral after just being at 15 is red hot. And you can see we were at 15. What day was that? The 8th. April 7th was the bottom. Right? April 7th. I made a video. Video evidence documented. I just put it in my story. Said the bottom's in, boys. Here's XYZY. So 52 is pretty hot relatively when you consider we were just at 15. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, listen, I'm bullish right now. I'm going to be looking for opportunities. I anticipate a back test. Don't freak out, y'all. I'm letting you know the answers to the test. Pop quiz class. Turn your text to page 37. There's going to be a back test. Are you going to be ready? Are you going to see the opportunities? Are you going to take the opportunities? Or are you going to be scared like when we were at 74K? I wasn't scared. I put my longs in. I put my money where my mouth is. I showed my trades. On my mama, bro. On my hood. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, a little bit of a back test for Bitcoin is in order, in my opinion. Ethereum finally broke out of this multi-month skid. It is officially, let's take that off, make this a little bit more clean. So Ethereum was on a multiple month skid, finally broken out. Again, just because we break out doesn't mean Lambos and sunshines. I anticipate a little bit of accumulation and some higher lows to come out of Ethereum. Okay. Again, these are opportunities. The opportunities are here, everyone. The tide is shifting. I'm Scotty P. Know what I'm saying? I'm Jason Kidd with the assist. Hello, do you think there will be another bull market before 2030? Absolutely, Roman. Yes. Listen, April 7th, video evidence documented 9 times in my career. 9 times in my career, I've said that the bottom is in. 9 times. 8 times, I was correct on the day. The only one that got me was over here. The only one that got me was over, I don't remember when it was. I think it was in February. So February was the only time in my career when I said that the bottom was in and I was wrong. Other than that, the other 8 times on the day was correct. And I said it April 7th, 2025, bottom's in, here's why. And now, to be fair, in hindsight, it was the same reason, but I thought that they were taking effect and they delayed them, right? The tariffs, of course, is what we're talking about. I thought they were going to take effect and they delayed them. But when it happened, I made a video. So that is the bottom. That is accumulation for Bitcoin. Accumulation equals a bottoming structure. This is micro distribution. This is micro accumulation. So yes, what I anticipate let me map it out for you for the rest of the year for Bitcoin plus the altcoins, and then we're going to get into your guys' coins. I anticipate a back test to about 88K, maybe 85, a little bit of chop, and then Mark E. Mark E is going to take us to 118,000. Bottom for how long? For this year. Or at least for the next few months. 6 months or so. 118 is the next macro move. And so let's show the structure, what we're talking about here. This is textbook accumulation. We've been talking about this till we're blue in the face. Selling climax, secondary test, in phase B, spring goes lower. This is textbook accumulation. Textbook, as clean as it gets. That's so clean. Is this literally, this is the same structure, right? And what is the structure? This is a bottom structure. Okay? After that is phase E. Okay? At the same time that this is happening, Bitcoin Dominance is doing the opposite, which is distribution. Buying climax, up thrust, UTAD. Okay, this isn't tomorrow, next week, but there is a storm brewing, and it will be everything, everywhere, all at one time. Okay? So that's the next big move. The next big move is for this to start making lower lows. Finally, Ethereum has broken out of this downtrend. At the same time that gold went parabolic, I've sold 30% of my gold. At the same time, the DXY is under a multiple year low. What I anticipate from the DXY, which measures the strength of the US dollar, which trades inversely with stocks and crypto, is a move up. What was support, I think, is going to become resistance and roll back over while Bitcoin has accumulated, while Bitcoin Dominance is working on distribution. So perfect storm all together, everything, everywhere, all at one time. Very good looking setup. Very, very micro. I'm a little bit bearish in the very micro, as in like a week or two. But in the medium term, very, very bullish, especially for May. Yes. And could CAS still surpass all-time high? Yes, I think so. Very clear accumulation for CAS. Thoughts on the day today, bearish? On the data today, what was the data? You think dominance runs to 68%? It could. I don't think so. That's a lot of people are calling for that. We're at the macro 702 right now. What is that? Yeah, so the 1618 would be 65.8%. I'd be shocked if we get above that, to be honest with you. I think that this is nearing very much the end. When are you shaving your beard? The bet was if Bitcoin goes below 70K before 118K, I will shave my beard. We got close, but no cigar. So that was my beard bet. 118 by the end of May, or excuse me, 118 before 70, as in I think they both will happen, or I will shave my beard. We got the 74 on Bitcoin. What's my bench max? About 350. 345. I'm not sure what it is at the current moment. I can do about 315 for about 4 or 5 right now. I thought by the end of May, new all-time high. Very plausible. I think that that's a very plausible, because what is this? This is a bottoming structure right here. Solnick bet is 7.5 cents by the end of the bull market, or I will shave my beard as well. I think too many people said that everything would go up by 2025, but it's different. Yeah, and then now everyone is bailing on that. Now everyone is bailing on that sentiment. Right? Markets are red. Compared to what? What's up, Sona community? Can we take a look at Moonwell? Where do you see ICP heading? By my macro prediction for ICP is 35 low case, 100 bull medium case, 138 is my bull case. We are in the bull market SMS. Yeah, it was just a back test. 9 times, name that movie. Crypto the Mew, beautiful, thank you. Official Calvin, thanks for the rose. We got the fake Calvin.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
What can bread on base reach peak of 2025? Ski, I'm here. Front and center. I'm late to the class. Sorry, it's okay. I forgive you. All is forgiven. Do you expect Bitcoin to 88K? Yes, that's a very plausible back test. I think that will probably happen. I have my limit orders in. The one thing to play devil's advocate to that, how Bitcoin likes to be is it's boring. Like, okay, just look at the last breakout and every breakout, right? You have a skidding period and you do not have a long period after you break the skid where it makes a violent move. And we see this time and time again where you have a change of direction, a markdown, you have a boring period, and once it breaks the boring period, it is violent. So I would argue that that's what this is. This is the change of direction. But yes, 88K is the most plausible backtest. I have limit orders in on longs for Bitcoin there. So I think that's very plausible. We're a little bit overheated in the very micro. RSI is at 77. Let's look at the 5 hour. It got really overheated up here, 88 on the RSI, which is relative strength. So yeah, I anticipate a little bit of a back test for sure. Also, we just had the new moon. I'm not trying to read your astrology or anything like that. I'm just here to report the data, and the data says the blue is the new moons. Typically, you get those are the local tops, and you get a micro correction after the new moons, as we can see. And typically the full moons are the opposite. It's not every time, it's not guaranteed, but you have a pretty decent level of accuracy with that, and I don't anticipate it to change this time. What about the liquidation heat map? Is that a good indicator for price movement? It's something. It's not everything. It is something. It is not everything, though. When alt season, Bitcoin dominance is on the last phase, in my opinion. So let's quickly cover this. This is accumulation, a bottoming structure, selling climax, automatic. Let's go to the 5 hour. It's very clean on the 5 hour. Okay. Selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That is a bottoming structure. Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And then we're going to go to Bitcoin dominance. So this is what is called accumulation. This is bottoming structure. Okay. Selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's phase A of the bottom. Phase B, secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Gruel up to the top of the range. You start to gruel down, and a spring takes it all out in phase C. Okay? Top of the range, gruel down, spring takes it all out in phase C. That is the bottoming structure. Okay, so that's what Bitcoin has done. We're somewhere in this neck of the woods. We're in phase D, in my opinion. A back test, a little bit of chop. The next phase is phase E, which is the mark up. Okay? It should take us to about 118,000. The reason that I bring that up, because Bitcoin dominance is doing the opposite of this, which is distribution. So to answer your question, when alt season, when Bitcoin dominance properly distributes and starts making lower lows, in my opinion, we are at phase C of distribution for Bitcoin dominance. So what is phase C? I'm going to show you. We're right here in phase C, in my opinion. What we should anticipate is to start to get lower lows and lower highs. That would signify that phase C is done, and then it's going to be pretty quickly from there. Okay? So to answer your question, Bitcoin has bottomed. Part of alt season stipulation is Bitcoin needs to be making all-time highs. The structure is there. The Bitcoin dominance is in phase C, in my opinion. We need to start making lower lows and lower highs. Hello, bro. How are you? Good. Fantastic. I found a photo of you in my wife's boyfriend's wallet. Dang it, bro. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Coffee, thanks for becoming a member, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Danny boy, thanks for the goat, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Last bull run were some blue chips that peaked around March, April. Do you think some will have that peaked already? No, but I think they're very, very close. So let's talk about this. Let's show this, right? So a lot of coins have this setup right here. And it's Bitcoin, same setup that it had in 2013. Let's take off the moon right now. Okay, same setup in 2013. So he's asking about blue chips peaking in May. I think that some of them will. I do think that that is plausible because a lot of them have this setup right here. So on the top is Bitcoin from 2013 through 2017. In the middle, we will show ADA, whatever. ADA is a blue chip that has this setup, certainly. Okay. Okay, and then grab you some Solnic. Solnic is my number one 100x play. We'll look at that right after this. It's an extreme value below the 236. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw!
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And then VeChain. It doesn't matter though. I'm teaching you guys about structure. So on the top is Bitcoin from 2013 through 2017. Middle is ADA, a blue chip, 2021 through present. VeChain on the bottom, 2021 through present. You have the same setup. Mark down, mark down, mark down. Accumulation, bottoming structure, accumulation, accumulation. Sign of strength, sign of strength, sign of strength. Back test, reaccumulate, reaccumulate. Move higher, takes out the sign of strength. Move higher, takes out the sign of strength. Move higher, takes out the sign of strength. Back test again, and then you start to gruel up, making higher lows and higher highs. This is the end of the story. We have many examples. Render did the same thing in 2023. That's the mark up. There's a lot of blue chips that look like this. So to answer your question, who asked that, ARG? I do think some blue chips are on the cusp of doing that. Would you long uni here? Yes. I think it's an excellent value here. All right, let's look at Solnic. It's having a beautiful structure of higher lows. Chainlink has the same setup too, by the way. So this is your distribution, you're marked down, you broke the downtrend, and you're starting to have higher low structure on the RSI. It's getting to be pretty oversold at this point, especially on the 5-hour. Very oversold, the same level as what the last bottom was locally. And what we do see from Solnic is the Solnic holders are pretty smart, so they it seems like it is almost ahead of most of the market. So yeah, that's what I anticipate. This is getting to be a local bottom here at the 236 extreme value. Can't buy Solnic on Robinhood or Coinbase. You can buy it on Coinbase Wallet. The best thing to do is buy Solana, send it to Phantom or Soulflare, and then swap it there. I think sell in May, walk away, plays out. It could. I'm not married to that. I put very little weight in like time. We'll see what the I'm going to be looking for structure is what I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be looking for how overheated something is, how oversold something is, how overbought something is. I'm not going to be looking for this week or this month. But yeah, that's historically On-chain is very soon. Yes, historically, that's how it plays. I have $4,000 in Chainlink. Think can get up to 30K. I don't know what your price is. Right now, I think Chainlink reasonably gets to $78. Do you think XRP could be taking over Swift? I don't know. I don't care as much about the narratives. I'm a big XRP holder, but I don't pay attention to the narratives. And the reason is I just look for charts and structure. The reason I do it that way is because I don't get caught up in all the noise, and that's how I was able to sell at $3.33. When you look back, that was so hot. And everyone was like, it's going higher. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to get caught up in the narratives. I do like XRP here. I think it's a decent value. It could get to $1 if you're lucky. But ultimately, I think it goes this cycle, $5, $8, $12. That's where I'm going to be selling the rest of my XRP. When you say link to $78, what's your time frame? This year, I think reasonably. 30. So let me be clear, Matt. $38 is my low target for a link. $78 is my medium, most plausible, most probable, and then my bull case is 178. How high the total crypto market cap get to Q4 this year? 8 trillion. Yes, 8.8 trillion is my bull case scenario. 6 is my low case, and 7 is my medium case. It says now we need 178. Yeah, I think it's plausible, but also the thing is, like, Chainlink is in my kids' portfolio too. And what does that mean? That means I believe in it for the next 10 years. So even if it doesn't, I think it's going to get there eventually. You know what I'm saying? I have 1 million CAS. How do you think I can make that? Okay, let's look at CAS. I do think CAS has bottomed. I had a target of 5.5 cents. This is an accumulation sign of strength backtest. This is pretty good. This is a distribution here. It's below the 236. I still think it is pretty good value. Retracement is 14 cents, so that would be 140,000, right? I think. And then parabolic is 45 to 63 cents, so somewhere in that neck of the woods. So maybe just shy of 500,000 is the probable. Can VeChain hit 30 cents still? Yes. 20, 40, 60 is my targets. What do you think about Algorand? I think Algorand is solid. Past inflation, most of it is done though. ICP high case $100. Yeah. Polkadot. I think Polkadot's a pretty good value here. LCX, $1 to $2 for LCX. I think it's a pretty good value here as well. I haven't looked at LCX in a while, actually. Let me look at LCX. Tony says, I'm sure many people, oh, this is a good question, and I'm going to give you a funny answer. I'm sure many people would like to know how we know if the target will be low, medium, or high. Tony, if you figure that out, you let me know. Okay? That's why I give them all, because I think it's a good place to de-risk a little bit at each one. And that's what I do, right? So, example, let's look at LCX. Example is XRP, was one of my biggest holdings, okay? I had low, medium, high within low, medium, high targets, and I exited accordingly, right? So I was accumulating XRP. The average last cycle was about 33 cents. My average overall was about 20 cents, okay? So I exited a little bit at 10 cents, or excuse me, at $1.11. I exited a little bit at $2.22. I exited a lot at $3.33. If we pull back to $1, I'll add to that position. If we don't, I'll be exiting at $5, $8, and $12. So the answer to your question is, I don't know. I don't think there's a great indication of that other than just the overall strength in the charts, but that's why I give all the targets, because I think it's a good place to de-risk. I think people have the wrong mindset a lot of times of, you know, they want to buy the absolute bottom, and they don't want to buy a second until it's the bottom and for sure. And then they want to sell the absolute top, and we're not going to sell anything until we get there. And I think that that's the wrong mentality. Realistically, you just need to be in the right flavor and you can make a lot of money. If you're in the right flavor consistently, you can make a lot of money. You don't need to sell the absolute top and buy the absolute bottom. Just be in the right flavor, buy the value zones and sell the distribution zones. Alt's going to dip again before they soar. I think Bitcoin's going to dip to 88K, so you would anticipate a little bit of a dip, but I do think we're in the finality of Alt's Bitcoin dominance at its tear. So there's a plausibility, a realistic plausibility that at this point, Bitcoin could dip, and the alts will dip too, of course, but they could dip less. And the moves higher will be like that as well. Thank you for all the content, brother. I look forward to see you around, man. I appreciate you. Today's a quick one. Trying to be rapid fire with it. I knew Wednesday was going to be a weird day. And it has been so. But tomorrow I'm going to be live for at least 2 hours. That will be 6 to 8 p.m., I believe. Is that the schedule tomorrow? Yeah, 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Friday will be 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. with Alex, and then 6 to 8 p.m. Saturday will be 4 to 6. All those will be 2 hours. All right. Let's see here. Thoughts on Rose? I like Rose here. Rose has been a bystander of Ethereum's lackluster performance. And I think Ethereum is minimum going to bounce to 3,000. And I think Rose is really going to feel that. LCX, though. Let's talk about LCX. I got sidetracked here. I like this chart. This is the same chart what we were talking about a little bit. It didn't quite take this out. But it has basically the same structure as what we were talking about with ADA, Bitcoin in 2013, everything. It's below the 236. So this is a pretty good value, and it hasn't quite broken out of this downtrend yet, but you could argue this is definitely a higher high at this point. And this is probably making a higher low. So this looks very close to being a reversal of this downtrend. And what we've seen from LCX is it's a gruel down, it's a boring sideways, and it goes quickly. Ondo to 1010 or Ondo to $10. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so. So if Bitcoin goes 88K, that would be the test for the spring. No, I think we already got the test. So what he's talking about, it would be the BU. Okay. We'll look at Ondo in a second. So he's been following me for a while. I think we got the test already on the 5 hour. In hindsight, I wasn't as forward looking. This to me was your test. So this was your spring when we got to 74.4, came back up and tested it at 75.8 on the body. The wick was 74.7. This is your test to me. And then this is your LPS. So in my opinion, we're pretty far along. We're already at the SOS in accumulation. And the back test would be the BU. And I'll show you what that looks like. We'll see, though. That's where I think we're at right now. The spring, to me, has been confirmed in. We're probably about to do this and chop for a little bit. That's what I think. I think we're in phase D. Phase E is the markup. That would take us to about 118K. Bitcoin 86.5 because there's a lot of liquidity there. That's fine. I have limit orders at 88 and 85. Definitely 86 is on the table for sure. So you think we have a nice dip anytime soon? Need to buy more at a lower price? A little bit. I don't think we're going to make new lows or anything like that. I think it's going to be a higher low. Yeah. I'm medium term, medium term bullish, especially on the altcoins. Long term bullish. In the very micro, we are overheated a little bit, right? We got all the way up to 88 up here on the RSI. I would anticipate a back test to 88K. But it's not going to be 74K. You know what I mean? It's not the same sort of as that. Make sure you guys drop a follow and subscribe on YouTube. I go live every day. This is a short one today. I knew today was going to be a weird one. I will be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time to 7 p.m. Central Time. I upload at least one market analysis, news analysis, about 10 to 20 minutes on YouTube. I can upload them on TikTok, but they don't do well. I did upload one today, as well as about 5 shorts per day. Bitcoin 4-hour to bearish divergence. I think so. Yep, that is a bearish divergence. Yes, I agree. Medium ski. Hey, bro, what's up? Ondo. All right, let's look at Ondo, and then we're going to end it there. So, can Ondo get to $10? I don't think so. This is a bottoming structure. It's already got to the 382, then the back test. I don't mind this. Actually, this is accumulation, right? This is accumulation to me. Retracement is 40% move. Parabolic is 2.5 to 3.5x. So what does that look like on price? 40% move is $1.30. 2.5x. $3.19. And what did I say? 3.5. That's about $4.20. So no, I don't think it's getting to $10. $4.20 to me is the maximum parabolic for Ondo. Says, damn, bro, these scammers quick with... I know. Listen, I'll never message you guys first. I will never message you guys first. But all right, guys. That's going to be it for this time. I'll be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central. Be there or be square. If you're square, you're not around. I'll be live at 9 to 10:30 a.m. with Alex Costa in the morning on Friday. And then 6 to 8 p.m. on Friday as well. Saturday, I'll be live 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I upload daily. If you like medium-term videos, I upload those. If you like shorts, I upload those as well. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I don't have anything to sell you. I love you. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. I'm out.
Damn, hustling, 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 hustling.